Hi, welcome to Dear Anybody. My name's Kevin. I'm reading letters written by my late father, Jimmy Hodge. He wrote them in 1999, and he wrote one every day, 365 days of the year, to precede the millennium in 1999. I'm doing my best to read them daily. It's not been quite as easy as it was in the first half of the year, but I'm pressing on. We've got to the 28th of January. No, we haven't. See, I should have started again. It's the 28th of September. And it was Labour Party conference. Tony Blair was being accused of becoming too arrogant since getting in power. They believe he shunned working class supporters. Now, if you're watching this in 2025, you'll know that the Labour Party are not doing so well at the moment. So 26 years later, they're not doing so well, are they? Metropolitan Police Assistant Paul Manning was a bit worried about, well, not caught out by his own zero tolerance of stuff, and found he was doing speeding of 43 miles an hour in a 40-mile zone. And wish he hadn't been quite so pedantic about it all, I think. Some people were pulled from the rubble of the Taiwan earthquake yesterday, and they've been missing for 5 days, so that was a blessing. Army chiefs in Russia were ramping up things, which again is very weird, isn't it? 26 years ago they were doing that. Guess what? You know, Chechen border, Russia are now flexing their muscles yet again, aren't they? Dad was querying about how Russia could afford to do all this moving, because apparently they were didn't have much money in the economy, so a bit worried about that. Oh yes, that's right. Keep an eye open for fate, Dad said. Single mum, 6-footer Charlotte Baker was as low as it could get. Walking along the high street. She'd been deserted by her boyfriend after her daughter was born and been unemployed for a year. She lived in a tiny room in her grandmother's house in Romsey, Hampshire. Tell us where you are now. Okay, Charlotte Baker. Suddenly a car stopped outside and out it stepped Sarah Dukas, boss of a top modelling agency. Within hours of Charlotte's life had been transformed, with a fortune waiting in the wings. Bet the rat of a boyfriend turns up, Dad said. Now, if you are, in fact, Charlotte Baker, if that's your name, or if you changed your name, and you're that very person who was plucked, as it were, from obscurity and poor circumstances, and tell us what you're doing now, because I would really like to hear, and I hope it turned out well for you. Anyway, that was it on the 28th of September 1999. You mind, there you go.